Hi, this is Chris Romansky with Sporktopia Games, here today to talk about Warped Drive. Warped Drive is a tactical space battle game for 2 to 4 players. The game is set in the future, about 50 years, when rockets are no longer needed to power spacecraft. Instead, you have a warped drive. And the warped drive basically is the energy for your spaceship, but you also are able to program in your movements that you would like to do into this energy drive. So if your energy drive fails you, your ship's dead in the water, and the goal of the game is to try to cause one ship to be dead in the water, and then whoever has the most remaining cubes left in their warp drive ends up winning the game. So I'm going to walk you through some of the setup. This is a demo version, so the actual version of the game is going to have slightly different components, but this should still be a good simulation of what this game is. So I'm going to show what a 2-player game looks like. So to start, we're going to take one of these space cards. We're going to set it down in the middle of the play area, and then we will show. We'll place 2 additional space cards, one for each player. So this game's going to be 2-player. We'll do a blue and a white player for this game. So each player, this is your warped drive card. So this shows you're going to have 6 movement cubes, 5 range cubes, and 5 damage cubes. Those are going to be silver, gold, and red in the final version, but for this version we're going to do, we've got green for movement, we've got yellow for range, and we've got kind of this purple magenta color is going to be our damage. So both players are going to get the same cubes here, and 6. Each player also is going to get a disc that matches their color. That's going to be your spaceship. And each player is going to have 2 cubes, and these are going to define your sequence of actions. Each player also gets a sequence of play that gives you just a brief summary of everything you're doing on your turn. And each player gets an energy shield. This shield will prevent damage one time. It is also used to hide your moves that you're going to do at the start of a round. So everybody's going to put their energy shield up, and on the back there's a little cheat sheet as to what each of the cubes does. You hold it up so the other player can't see what you're doing. You're going to place your cubes into your 4x4 grid over here. Since I'm just playing myself to show you how to do 2, I'm going to leave the energy shield down, but I'm going to start placing some cubes. So again, green in this situation is going to be movement, and I don't know, we'll just throw a few in here, and then we'll do some range, and we'll kind of explain what we're doing as we get into it. And then the remaining spots we're going to do damage. Okay, and we'll kind of do just a little random deal here for white. So we'll just put these in. So everybody's going to be setting up their cubes, and this is going to be your actions on your turn, as well as your health. And I need one more green. Okay, so we're set up here with white, and we're set up with blue. Okay, so now each player is going to place their disc out in space. So now we're set up, ready to play the game. So each player is going to, again, put up their energy shield, and then this time they're going to take their cubes that are going to determine what sequence they're going to do moves in. So what you do is, at the start of your sequence, you're going to place a cube so that one of the points is on the cube you want to start with. So what I'm saying here with this move is I'm going to start with a move. So now I can go clockwise or counterclockwise and place my other cube so that the flat side's touching a cube 6 faces away. So if you got 1, 2, 3, 4, go around the bend, 5, 6. So that's where my cube's going to end up. So my turn is essentially going to be move, move, and then I'm going to have a range of 3 attack with the damage of 1. So now if I come over here to the other side, these guys are going to do, let's start over here, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now their turn's going to be 2 moves, range 1 attack of damage 3. So you put your shields down, everybody reveals, and then actions are going to take place simultaneously, and you do one action at a time. So we take a look, we see blue's got to move and white's got to move. So they would both move their disc 1 space. So let's say, to speed things up, we want a confrontation right away. So they're both going to move towards each other. So then we come down here, and since we've done a move, we move our start cube over 1 and our start cube over 1. Okay. So now we're both still on move. So both of these are going to move again. So let's say blue moves in closer, white decides that they're going to go in the same spot. So now blue's going to move again, and white's going to move again. Alright, so now blue and white are both on range. So the way that range works is you count up the number of faces you have in a row. So blue's got 1, 2, 3 in a row. So they can target any disc within 3 spaces orthogonally. So white's right on top of them, so they're clearly within range. That's a range 0. But let's say, you know, we have black in here. That's a range 1, 2, 3. So they could hit black. They could hit black over here, because again, 1, 2, 3. So they'd be in range, they could hit them. And then white has a range of 1. So again, white's on top of blue, but you know, white could hit somebody above them or over here, 1 space away. Okay, so we've targeted. So white's targeting blue, blue's targeting white. And then because there's a damage cube after range, blue's going to hit white for 1. But white is going to hit blue for 3 because they've got 1, 2, 3 faces of damage before they hit the end. So because they're on the same space, the person who's attacking gets to choose which side the other person loses cubes on. So blue's going to say, hey, white, you're going to lose a cube from the right. So let's say they remove that cube. So now they're taking some damage. But now white says, oh, hey, look, blue, you've got a lot of damage over there on your left side. You're going to start losing cubes from the left. So they're going to lose 3 cubes. So the way this works is that the cube removed has to be the farthest to the left that they have. So let's say they lose that one. Now they can either lose, say, like this green and this purple over here, so they could lose a movement and a damage, or they could, let's say they just lose the corner down here. So they lost this one, and then this one here became the furthest left. So now they've got a hole over here. And then when the damage is done, then you just finish up your action. And these two both ended on the same turn, but you might end up with a situation where somebody still has some actions left and somebody's done completely. Now, let's say instead of being on top of each other, blue and white were like this. So in that situation, the person still takes damage, but they get to choose which side they take it from. It's the defender's choice. This is to kind of simulate that they took evasive maneuvers because they saw there was some damage coming from pretty far away. So you would continue playing until somebody loses all of a color in their warped drive. So I mentioned earlier that you have your energy shield. So you hold that up there so that the other person can't see quite what you're doing and doesn't know which sequence is going to be coming at them on the turn. Let's say that blue decided that they didn't want to lose those 3 cubes. They'd be able to discard their energy shield. They'd have their cubes over here, but now they're playing the rest of the game where their moves are visible to the other players. So that's how you play Warp Drive. Thanks for watching.